What is a seemingly mundane question you can ask somebody that will tell you a lot about their personality? What would you do if you won the lottery? For me, it's a non-invasive way of listening to people's attitudes on finance in general, and also how they feel about the rich. Yes, this is a brilliant question. When I was newly dating my ex-boyfriend, it was around the time Super Lotto hit $1 billion a couple years ago. We were both in lottery ticket pools and discussed what we would do if we won. His answer mortified me. It included how if he were married, he would divorce his wife and travel the world on a yacht doing drugs surrounded by hot women. Big red flag for me. What book would you like to live in? A really big one. Practical, I see. What was the last thing you did that gave you childlike joy? My 14-year-old asked for a longboard last spring. I had said no before because I figured it would be something I spend a few $100 on that she would try once, not be good at right away, and never touch it again. It wouldn't be the first time. After being locked up for 2 months with quarantine, I figured why not. It gets her outside and maybe something she'll enjoy. At that point, I just wanted her to get out of her room and off her phone. I had never seen her work so hard at something she wasn't good at right away. After 2 back-to-back 6-hour days of practice, she started to get the hang of it and asked me if I wanted to try. I couldn't even stand on a board when I was a kid, but as an adult, I just got it. I wasn't on it 5 minutes and I said, I need one. We left right then and picked one up for myself. We cruised all spring, summer and fall. Not only was it great for bonding, I hadn't felt that kind of joy since I was little. A moment I'll never forget. Can't wait for the snow to melt. What superpower they want? I know there are more powerful superpowers that could get me wealth or whatever, but man, teleportation would be dope. Can travel the world but always sleep in your own bed and never need to book a flight. Never need to use a public restroom, easily visit family, only take road trips if I want. Can live and work anywhere. The rest of life could be normal, but it would be great. My father-in-law went on a job interview about 10 years ago and absolutely nailed the interview. As he was being shown around the office, a high-level person in that company who normally wasn't there just happened to be there that day. After they were introduced, he asked my father-in-law what kind of animal he would be. My father-in-law said he panicked and picked a bear. He's a bigger guy. And the other guy said something along the lines of, that's a little too aggressive, maybe this isn't the job for you. So he didn't get the job, but I guess it worked out because he's got a pretty good job now, and if I was him, I wouldn't want to work for someone who hires people based on what animal they think they would be. The right answer was, I would be a parasite that lives in your eye and eats away your optical nerves. It's not a single question, but by the second or third date with a guy, I would ask him to go bowling. As it turns out, there is many ways to play the game. Do they take it too seriously and get competitive or angry if they don't do well? Does he act disinterested or bored of the game? Do they try to teach me how to play, or do they just try to be goofy, have fun with it? Do they order 2 pitchers of beer and get totally smashed? In my opinion, you can learn a lot about a person by the way they approached bowling. One of my standard job interview questions is, tell me about something you like doing that you're good at. I don't really care what the answer is, I just want to see passion, effort and creativity. Do you put the cart back when you're done shopping? I put my cart away. But seriously, whether someone puts their cards back really shows you what they think about rules, social norms, and whether they will follow them when someone isn't looking or judging them. It's really interesting and it's called the shopping cart theory. I've shared this before, but I feel it's pretty relevant and a great way to find out more about a person. Years ago, I went out on a first date with this girl I met online. I thought she was very attractive and we had so much common that I thought she was perfect. In addition to that, we seemed to hit off well through text, so I figured this date would go well. We are at this bar and she suggests we play a people watching game where we try to make up backstories for the other people there. I thought it sounded fun, especially since I played a similar game with friends on the train sometimes. Plus it felt like a good icebreaker to get us talking. Well, she managed to take all the fun out the game by being ridiculously cruel in all her assumptions for no reason at all. It felt like she was projecting issues she had onto these people. Like one guy was sitting at the bar alone, could have been waiting for someone, you never know. But because he was alone, he was a effing loser with no friends that hates his life. I tried to steer the game back to a more light-hearted mood, but she was set on being mean. Completely killed the mood, and after that I lost all interest in her. I just couldn't see myself going on a second date with someone like that, even if she checked all other boxes. However, I did learn that it's a dumb and usually fun game you can use that will tell you a lot about a person and how well you get along with them. As a kid, what was your go-to selection from the ice cream truck? Disappointment, because we were too poor to get ice cream from the truck. Do you ever give money to homeless people you pass on the street? In my experience, there is a vast array of responses to this question, and I think it can tell you a lot about their attitudes towards strangers and the extent that they generally give people the benefit of the doubt or generally expect that others don't have good intentions. I don't mean the yes or no answers, but the more detailed answers can provide a bit of insight. So for example, I asked somebody this one and their response was, F no, I'm not funding their drug habit. And after that I began noticing that they also tend to comment derogatorily on strangers' outfits, weights, appearances, etc. An opposite example is someone that said, if I have it, I do. I feel bad when I don't. And I've never heard this person make anywhere near the comments the other person had. It could be coincidence, but I think not. What ocean is between North America and Europe? The answer will either be the Atlantic. Why would you ask such a basic question? Or why would I know that? It can't tell you how much someone knows about the world, but it can tell you how little they know. It's astonishing how many people won't be able to answer this question in any way, let alone be confident in their answer. One I saw on a dating site of all places, I forgot the name of it, was, do you think the concept or consequences of a post-apocalyptic world is in some ways interesting? And it really resonated with me. It shows whether a person is interested in abstract thinking and imagining. Most people on the site voted no. I even had a conversation with someone who was like, no, why would you want the world to end? I don't, but the idea of how it would be like, how the world ended, what society looks like afterwards is interesting. I probably don't match up well with anyone who would vote no to that question. Do you wear a mask? Constantly. I'm dead inside. Oh, the face. Yeah, absolutely. How would you describe the internet to a caveman? It will show you how they look at what the internet is used for. For example, some might say it's a source of information, or it's a way to connect people who are far away. I know one person who said they wouldn't explain it to a caveman because they wouldn't go back in time without AC. I had ATA ask me in a get to know you activity what my vision was for a perfect world, and I said round, lol. It's like the joke about your best date. Mid-May, not too hot, not too cold, decent chance of sun. Thank you a lot for watching. Write in the comments what question you can ask somebody that will tell you a lot about them. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.